Some men, whether intentionally or not, can cross emotional boundaries with your partner in ways that might threaten your relationship. Understanding who these men are and how these dynamics unfold is essential if you want to protect your bond and foster genuine trust. Today, we're diving deep into the 5 types of men who can easily cross the line with your woman, and why you need to stay vigilant, not paranoid, but self-aware and communicative. Imagine this. You come home after a long day, expecting a relaxing night with your partner, but you notice she's unusually distracted by her phone. You casually ask who she's texting, and she mentions a friend from work or an old bestie, or even the guy who seems too attentive at the gym. Is it harmless banter, or is there something more going on? In the next few minutes, we'll break down exactly which kinds of men can sneakily blur those lines, how it happens, and what you should do about it before damage is done. Let's get started. Relationships are built on trust, communication, and mutual respect. But that doesn't mean you can ignore the reality that other people, intentionally or unintentionally, can enter the picture and alter the dynamic. These are not always the stereotypical bad guys. In fact, some don't even realize the impact they're having. That's why understanding these dynamics isn't just about jealousy. It's about recognition and respect for healthy boundaries. Throughout this video, we're going to explore the signs you should look out for, subtle behaviors that can escalate, the importance of clear boundaries, with examples you've probably seen or even lived through. Before we jump into the 5 types, let's make one thing clear. A strong relationship isn't one where you monitor every text or social media like a hawk. Instead, it's where you and your partner communicate openly about what's comfortable and what's not. The first man is the shoulder to cry on. This is the guy who's always there when your partner needs advice, validation, or a listening ear. At first glance, his attentiveness seems innocent, even generous, but the danger lies in emotional intimacy. When your partner consistently turns to the same man for comfort about her struggles, including issues in your relationship, that bond can become deeper than you realize. Think about it. Emotional reliance can quickly surpass physical attraction in terms of intimacy. If your partner's deepest concerns or happiest moments are shared first with another man, that's a sign he's encroaching on territory reserved for you as her partner. According to relationship experts, if you're deleting texts, hiding certain conversations, or waiting until your partner isn't around to pick up her calls, you're already crossing a line, even if nothing physical has happened. If you start noticing she shares her vulnerabilities, secrets, or fights with him first, pay attention. The fix isn't to demand she cut him off, but to discuss what emotional intimacy means to both of you. Are the details she shares with him appropriate? Are you both on the same page about what's too much? Next is the old flame, the ex-boyfriend, ex-crush, or even that friend who once confessed his feelings. This man usually lurks in the history books but never quite disappears. Sometimes he's just nostalgic. Other times, he's opportunistic, always waiting for a vulnerable moment or a crack in your relationship. It's tricky, because a past romantic connection leaves deep grooves. Even if she insists, we're just friends now, studies and countless relationship stories show old feelings can easily resurface if boundaries aren't strong. A mature relationship draws a clear line when past lovers want a foot back in the door. Then we have the fun, flirty friend. You know the type, always joking, complimenting, maybe even a little physically playful. High fives linger, hugs last too long, the teasing is just a touch suggestive. It all seems harmless until it isn't. This guy plays on the line between platonic and flirtatious. He might be in your wider group of friends or a colleague, but he's constantly testing boundaries. The problem comes when playful banter turns into real attraction. Flirting is functional for some personalities, but repeated, comfortable, unchecked flirtation between your partner and another guy, especially if it's kept secret or if she seems to prioritize his attention, is something to discuss. Healthy couples know the limits of friendly teasing. If either of you has to hide the level or tone of communication, a line may have already been crossed. Also, if you're ready to fast-track your success, check out my new course in the description or comments for exclusive strategies. He might offer emotional support, advice, or even financial help, subtly constructing a dynamic where your partner feels dependent on him rather than you. His motivation might not be conscious sabotage. Sometimes it's just his personality. Other times, it's a covert play for her affection, creating a sense of rescue that puts him at the center of her gratitude and trust. When your woman describes him as the only one who understands, or relies on him for things you believe should be tackled together as a couple, that's worth a pause. Ask yourself, does she turn to this man for advice before you? Does she downplay your role while elevating his? These are warning signs. Strong boundaries, set with love, not control, can help. Communication about what kind of support you both need and from whom matters more than just objecting to the man's involvement. Finally, there's Dabas, the work husband. In today's world, many people spend more waking hours at work than at home. But when private jokes, inside references, and routine lunch dates become as intimate as, or more intimate than, what you share at home, the lines get dangerously blurred. There are stories everywhere of, I never meant for it to go this far, starting in the break room over coffee with a work bestie who gradually becomes a central emotional figure. If work stories become selective, or you're kept out of the loop regarding certain colleagues, that signifies secrecy, a primary indicator that boundaries are dissolving. A healthy work friendship is open and above board, with nothing to hide. Anything in the shadows? Proceed with caution. So, what ties all 5 of these men together? It's not necessarily explicit betrayal or shady behavior. It's the gradual erosion of boundaries. Most boundary crossing doesn't start with cheating or overt disrespect. It's the repeated sharing of secrets, reliance for emotional support, inside jokes, and growing secrecy. You might be thinking, isn't it controlling to limit my partner's friendships? Not at all, if the goal is respect, not restriction. Some level of attraction, curiosity, or light flirtation with others is natural. It's acting on those feelings through secrecy or growing intimacy that endangers your relationship. The difference lies in how open and honest you and your partner are about these interactions. Let's talk about signs. A line might be stretching or breaking. You notice increased privacy or secrecy, texts deleted, social accounts set to private, names changed in the phone. There's less sharing with you, more with friends. You feel compared. Why can't you be more like him? Defensiveness or anger emerges whenever you gently question the friendship. These are all signs that the relationship foundation needs work. Not because you don't trust your partner, but because clear boundaries are what build lasting trust. As relationship coach Ismael Gomez, the third notes, real boundaries are firm, not flexible to please others. When you water them down, you trade protection for approval. And the cost? Your self-worth. Your standards for what's appropriate should be mutual, clearly communicated, and enforced with respect, not anger. That means talk openly, not from a place of accusation, but curiosity. Agree together on what behaviors are acceptable. Compliments, late-night texts, one-on-one hangouts, emotional venting. Check in regularly. How are we feeling about our connections with opposite-sex friends? Be honest about discomfort, instead of bottling things up. Remember, friendships outside your relationship aren't inherently bad, but the quality and intimacy of those connections are what matter. As one source puts it, friendships thrive when they're out in the open. But when there's a gradual shift in emotional focus, when cracks appear because of secrecy, when the way she lights up for that friend outshines her connection to you, that's when lines have been crossed. even if no physical boundary has been breached. If you're seeing these signs and feel unease, resist the urge to confront or accuse. Instead, opt for a conversation based on trust and care for your relationship's health. State what you notice and how it affects you. Invite your partner to share her perspective and feelings too. Avoid ultimatums. Foster understanding. Healthy relationships aren't policed. They're protected by shared values and clear boundaries. All this brings us back to a simple truth. Love thrives in the light, not the shadows. The 5 men that can cross the line with your woman do so most easily when communication fades and transparency disappears. Thanks for watching. If you want to get the results you wish for fast, then check my limited time offer on my new course, which will skyrocket your success in dating. Click the link right now down below in the description or in the comments and grab this opportunity. See you in there.